Hi, I'm Lawrence Bergstrom, registered osteopath and advanced trained non-surgical spinal disc specialist. Should you be worried about your disc bulge? What I'd like to discuss in this video is a few myths and misconceptions surrounding disc bulges, and also to explain when it is a problem for you and when it isn't. So a disc bulge itself is where the disc material has started to expand a little bit like a deflating car tire. Now, you could take 1,000 people off the street now and you could conduct an MRI, and a significant proportion of those people will have a notable disc bulge, but they won't have any symptoms at all. Now, a disc bulge itself is an observation, but it's not necessarily a diagnosis. And the reason being that a disc bulge, unless it's compressing nerve tissue around the spine, you're not going to feel any notable symptoms. If you have a tear in the disc, which is a separate issue, you'll definitely notice that. And the likelihood is, if you've got notable disc bulges but they're not compressing nerve tissue, you may get some back ache as a consequence, or neck ache as well, because discs bulge in the neck. So you can get some low-grade discomfort, but nothing really that's going to greatly concern you. However, if that disc material then starts to compress into nerve tissue, you're definitely going to notice that. You're going to experience pain down your arm. If it's in the neck, you might be getting headaches. You could get altered sensation in your hand, in your fingers. You might get weakness in the arm. And it's a similar scenario in the leg. So if you've got a large bulge which is compressing nerve tissue in your low back, then you're going to get symptoms down your leg, which can be a variety of different symptoms, anything from numbness, shooting pain, cold water sensation, sensation of ants crawling up and down your leg, maybe some weakness. So that's where a disc bulge does become an issue. But there's a lot of talk about in sort of common parlance regarding slip disc. Now, it's a bit of a misnomer, because a disc doesn't actually slip anywhere. Thankfully, these gristly structures that are made of collagen, they're fibrous collagen, and they don't actually slide around. But on an MRI, what you can see is a demonstration of disc material where it's starting to perhaps move backwards or to the side of its optimal position, but it hasn't slipped. What's happened is part of that disc bulging means that the material starts to expand outwards, but it's not a hard structure that just slides around. So if somebody says, say you go to a professional and they notice a disc bulge or disc bulges on an MRI, you don't need to be immediately worried. The key thing is, do those disc bulges correlate with any symptoms? If you haven't got any nerve pain down an arm or a leg, what they are is a timeline. So those disc bulges may never really trouble you, or it could be the start of further problems down the road. But a disc bulge itself is not a diagnosis, but a disc bulge relating to impact on nerves, or if it's a pronounced degenerative disc, which can be bulging out to a degree but has lost disc height, it can put pressure on your facet joints at the rear of the spine, which can then lead to some level of back pain. But hopefully this video gives you an idea about disc bulges. So it's not a diagnosis in itself, it's a very important observation in terms of the overall health of your spine, and it gives us as professionals a timeline in terms of what's actually happening within your spine. But if somebody says you have disc bulges, hopefully they'll explain it to you clearly, because otherwise you could be left thinking, oh no, I'm in serious trouble here, and it doesn't necessarily mean that at all. Okay, thanks for watching.